This I did not expect. I have a patient in the OR, so before he dies, we need to take the initiative. Welcome to Surgeon Simulator 2013. The original was a prototype created from scratch during the 2013 Global Games Jam in Montreal, Quebec. The theme for the event was the sound of a heartbeat, so my understanding is that this competition was about making a game related to healthcare. We get the first version made within 48 hours. This full version was made within 48 days. Let's take a look. The objective is to perform surgeries. You do this with a variety of tools and only one hand. The hand is special because you manipulate each finger individually. A, W, E, R, and space closes the fingers, the mouse moves the hands, left click moves the hand down, and right click allows you to rotate it. So with two hands, you have fine control over one. You may have a hard time figuring stuff out. There's no tutorial, no explanation of what the tools do, and as far as I'm concerned, many of these tools are just for decoration. I've tried to pick up some bone fragments with the tweezers, but it seems they don't have any functionality. I just pick up the fragments with my bare hands. Speaking of which, you're bare-handed. No sterile gloves. Tisk, tisk, tisk. You're grabbing bones, organs, tools. Definitely not a sterile environment, but going past that, what you're really doing is removing all the visible organs and then placing the fresh organ inside the empty socket. There's not much content as far as I can tell. 3 different surgeries performed in either the operating room or in an ambulance to increase the difficulty. Even though the title says Surgeon Simulator, this is not a simulator. It should be obvious to everyone, but I do have to make it clear because simulator games are supposed to replicate real-world procedures as accurate as possible. Don't try to go through med school with this. It's just a gimmicky game, so how will this do in the market? Within 4 to 8 weeks, this game is already dead. D-E-D, dead. The reason the original went viral is because it was silly and hilarious and free of charge. The fun here revolved around struggling with inherently bad controls to do a complex procedure, not from solid game mechanics, so of course the game died down quick. This full version is still amusing, but we've already played it. It's essentially the same thing, extended, and with a $7 price tag. This will die down faster. In the long term, so like 3 to 6 months from now, the dead game will still be dead. What else is there to say? Well, there is room for improvement, room for more content. DLC? Maybe. If this does happen, it's most likely going to be free because the developers are not a bunch of dicks. At least, I would assume so. Or even better still, maybe they'll release the source code. This game was created for a competition, not from a creative powerhouse or from fleshed out game design documents, so keeping the source code locked away won't really do much for anyone in the long term. Just a hunch. It's a really unique and interesting game, but objectively speaking, this game is terrible. I believe this will be successful in the market purely because of gimmicks and the viral nature of the game. Most people will probably pick this up just for the whole concept behind it. This was made in a very short time span by a team of, I think, 4 people? So I would think the labor cost is very low. All the expenses for making the game is probably something I can afford myself, so making a profit on this should be a walk in the park. And this game is the first of its kind. The first thing to use a gimmick will usually get the full benefits from it. Look what happened to motion controls and you should understand. Anything after that will simply be rubbish. There won't be another Surgeon Simulator game or really any game with such difficult controls. We'll see what happens to this game in a few months. Thanks for watching.